I'm not gonna say that what you want to do is right or wrong. Just figure out what makes sense for you. And I also don't want you to be led down one path or another thinking that it's something just to come to find out that it's not what you thought it was. What's good? Another day, another video. One of my goals that I wrote down for my resolutions for this year was to be more on top of my YouTube content. 2 weeks in, I've already filmed like 5 videos. So it's crazy how just pinning that makes all the difference. But that was the goal. But then I told myself that, oh, I needed to sit down and come up with topics. And then that's where I got stuck, right? And all my topics this far have all came from just shoots that I was doing. As far as documenting, just document. Don't try to come up with, your ideas, your topics, your scripts or whatever, just document. And it's actually true how much easier that is to work. So I just made sure that I documented my shoot, and I went back and tried to see where I could pull some valuable tips to give you guys. So that being said, last weekend, I had a lawyer hit me from out of town, from Texas. And side note, I have a content creation agency that I run outside of just me doing photography. So he hit me on the behalf of that agency, which is a whole different set of gigs, which is really what this video is about. As far as from me to y'all, I want to be as transparent as possible. Maybe you have landed yourself in that position where you're out doing a bunch of cool stuff and cool creative shoots, but the reality of it is not always that. That's what people are going to show you. They're only showing you their perfect, great moments. So in transparency to y'all, in reality, you're probably going to get booked for other stuff. So going into this, and I guess I'm more so speaking to beginners, don't have these expectations of being in private jets and shooting celebrities and doing this and doing that. That's not always the case. Looping back to what I was saying with having the agency, you're gonna have actual shoots that fuel your business. You'll get the creative fun stuff, and it might take some time as you develop and your skills, or you're a little bit more on top of your craft. You might get them off the rip, who knows? But the bulk of your business is gonna come from just regular gigs. They don't have to be boring, but just regular gigs. We're talking about business headshots, maybe just simple lifestyle shoots, maternity, family photos, stuff like that. And that's okay. That's actually where your money is gonna come from for your business. So I just kind of wanted to speak to y'all on that level and just keep it real with y'all. That fancy shit can be overrated. And it really just depends on what you have going on. For me, I have a family. I have a son, he's 3. I have a fiance, soon to be wife. So doing the cool shit, it's cool, but I'm gone when I'm doing that. I'm away from my family. I'm away from the things that I want to be around and the people that I love. You have to kind of figure out what you want to do. I'm not going to say that what you want to do is right or wrong. Just figure out what makes sense for you. And I also don't want you to be led down one path or another thinking that it's something just to come to find out that it's not what you thought it was. So in this video, we're breaking down a professional shoot that I did for a lawyer. And this is a full content shoot, but really all I'm talking about in this video is the photo aspect. So I would say first and foremost, make sure that your client feels comfortable, especially when you're dealing with like business individuals, doctors, lawyers, dentists, whatever it may be, somebody that's in like a profession. They may not be used to being in front of cameras. Typically, the easiest way to do this off the rip is just casual conversation. For me, I keep things very light when I'm shooting. I'm not a rigorous photography general when I'm on set. I feel like that shit can be intimidating and it potentially could set a uneasy vibe, So I try to keep things light at majority of my shoots. I'm opening up with simple conversation, something to laugh at. Another important thing is to play music and ask them what they like. You gotta kind of step outside of yourself and let them play what's gonna make them feel comfortable. They might not be used to being in front of the camera, so you have to make them feel comfortable and allow them to feel open to be who they are in order for you to be able to do your job, right? And so with doing that, that's gonna allow them to let their personality come through in these images, which is really what you need in order for you to get some good shots. Like if they're too stiff, that's not gonna work. If they're too in their head with how they're looking, that's not gonna work for you. So you really wanna make sure that they feel at ease with everything that's going on in the situation. Prior to the shoot, discuss your ideas with your client. Send them over a vision board. Let them know the types of ideas that you want to do, and also ask them if there's anything that they want to do or don't want to do, anything that they might not feel comfortable with, might be too far outside of their comfort zone. And once you push them there, it's going to be hard to kind of bring them back, because then they're going to get really self-conscious. Their insecurities are at their forefront. You really have to be able to read people in order for you to be a good photographer, because the face is like the canvas for emotions, you know? So if somebody's feeling a certain way, it's gonna show up on their face first, and then it's gonna show up in their body language. So you have to be able to read a person and kind of gauge where they're at in order for you to capture what you need. So on the business side, this is typically a better market to be in, right? When you're doing just the creative, cool work, a lot of that doesn't have any ROI in it, which means that it's gonna be hard for you to get paid from it. And if you get paid, it's probably gonna be down here. But when you're working with businesses or business individuals, professional individuals, they tend to have marketing budgets set aside because they have certain things that they need to do for their business in order for it to operate, right? Majority of the times that they spend money is because they're looking to make money, or they're setting up a part of their business that needs to be structured for them. That's easy for you to push yourself into that position and work with these types of individuals, and they typically have more space for your budget, unless it's like a startup business. But even with startup businesses, these can potentially be good clients to get in with too and grow with them. But your businesses are typically gonna have a budget specifically set aside for marketing, and that's the space that you're trying to live in. So with that being said, now I want you to kind of think of things a little bit differently, right? Yes, you're using your camera, but your camera is a tool, and you're also trying to build a business. Like I really want you guys to wrap your head around the business aspect of what you're doing, and not just always be focused on the quality of your shots and of your work and the art of everything. That's your marketing. That's the front side of what you do. But also, in order for you to thrive as a business, as a photographer, not just a creative, you have to think of the business side. So if you were to tap into doing more work with business individuals or businesses specifically, and you're dealing with bigger budgets, that's the perfect grounds for you to try to land a retainer with that client. Retainers are the treasure at the end of the rainbow when it comes to a photography business. If you can land any type of retainer, that alleviates so much stress for you as far as where you're getting paid from next, right? You can negotiate whatever type of deal that you want. I typically do a 90-day minimum, but if you can land a retainer, now you know exactly where your money's coming from. And again, like I said, doing the creative stuff is cool, but you're not gonna get any retainers coming from a model that just wants to do some shots. You'll probably book her or him one time and it's a one and done, and those are cool too. But again, like I said, wrap your mind around the business. So if you're trying to structure a business, what would you prefer more? A business to business transaction that's paying you $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, upwards of $5,000 a month, or a one and done shoot that you might be getting paid $150, maybe $500 if you're lucky, then it's just done. You know, you're talking about sustaining yourself for a minimum of 90 days, if not more, or just this one and done shoot, and then you got to figure out again after that. Wrap your mind around the business. That's ultimately what I really want you guys to get if you're watching my channel. I'm going to show you creative stuff. I'm going to show you how to achieve the fun, cool stuff. I've done some cool stuff. I've been some cool places, all off the strength of the photography. But ultimately, what really got me into those places was having sound business. You know, it was always trying to structure and build the business side of what I'm doing. I don't even know how many times I said business in this video. Somebody count for me. I'm gonna go back and count because I've said business a lot. And you also wanna make sure that you do incorporate your style into the shoot. I know a lot of times if you're shooting some business stuff, you think it's kind of just point and shoot and you're just shooting these shots, these boring straight on headshots. And that's not the case, you know, like after you're done having those conversations with your client and seeing what they really want to do, what's their ideas, what's their style, what do they like, then you get to kind of infuse that into the shoot and you can still be you. You can still add some stuff inside of there to make the shoot your style, make these images your style. Again, with the business, you want to be able to market yourself with the material that you're shooting. So not only are you delivering this to the client, but this is also going to work for you in order for you to obtain more clients, right? So keep that in mind, like keep your creativity in the shoot. Don't let it just run dry. I'm guilty of it. I've done multiple shoots where I got hit for somebody that just wanted some basic stuff and I just showed up and I did basic and the client was happy, which at the end of the day that's the point of it, right? But I didn't really feel like my creativity came through in the photos afterwards. I got caught up in just giving them exactly what they were asking for and didn't think to apply myself. And I've done that. So don't get caught up in that. It doesn't have to be a boring situation because they're business headshots. It doesn't mean boring. But yeah, I just wanted to speak on that. I'm gonna drop a part 2 to this that's actually breaking down the creative that went into the shoot. On this video, I really just wanted to touch on the back end, on the business stuff, because I feel like that's very important. Otherwise, you can't sustain stuff and you can't afford to scale or do anything else with your business if you're not focused on the business. Hopefully you guys found some good information in this video. If you liked it, press the like button. If you didn't like it, you could press the like button too. I appreciate both. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. If you guys have any questions, as always, drop them down in the comments. I'm very active in my comments. Make sure you guys subscribe and turn on the notifications so you know the next time we drop something else. Until next time.